Dear students, welcome to PISQE Learning Program. This is Chemistry 8 Week 4 Lesson 1. Dear students, in last session, we discussed water pollution. If you remember, water is polluted by the contaminants coming from different sectors. Whether it is domestic waste or industrial waste, it has always been disposed of off in the river for hundreds of years. But too much sewage or waste can affect marine life. In the last lesson, we have also seen the effect of water pollution on marine life. Dear students, what will happen if rivers are contaminated by unwanted wastes? Of course, marine life will be affected. Means health of the river will be affected. A good indicator of the health of a river is to find out a number of different plant and animal species living in it. So dear students, in most of the countries sewage is treated before it passes into the water cycle. Sewage treatment is a process of removing contaminants from wastewater and household sewage. It includes physical, chemical and biological processes to remove physical, chemical and biological contaminants. However, in some areas, this treatment is still not good and people become ill because of harmful bacteria in water. Dear students, the sewage treatment process includes 4 basic steps. That is filtering, sedimentation, digestion, and filtering at the end. Raw sewage is passed through a bar screen first for the purpose of filtration. Then to grit tank and settling tank where sedimentation takes place. This water is further moved to aeration tank where digestion takes place, and now water is further purified using filter bed. Do you understand these 4 steps? Let's discuss this process in detail. My dear students, I hope it is clear so far. Let's start with the first step, which is filtering. In this step, raw sewage is passed through screens, usually metal grids, which removes larger particles from water such as wood, rags, plastic and paper, which are burned later on. After the wastewater is treated through a bar screen, it goes into a grit tank and then settling the tank. In this chamber, flow of water is slowed down to allow grit, pebbles, and sand to settle down at the bottom of a tank. After this, water is allowed to pass through another large settling tank with a slope toward the middle. In this tank, large pieces like feces and food particles sink to the bottom. This waste material collected is called sludge. This sludge is later removed to make fertilizers and the methane gas. It can also be used as a fuel in household gas supplies. In next step, sewage is passed through the aeration tank. Air is supplied so that aerobic bacteria can grow in it. These bacteria remove all soluble organic waste such as urine. A constant supply of oxygen helps bacteria to do their job. Now the water is free of all dissolved impurities. Dear students, do you understand aeration step? In last step, this liquid is sprinkled onto stones covered with more microorganism, so that bacteria can remove any remaining waste. Now the effluent is produced is clean and safe to be pumped into the river. Okay dear students. This is all about sewage treatment. I hope you understand this lesson. Dear students, let's recall what we studied today. We studied sewage water treatment. It involves how many steps? 4 steps. The first step is filtering, that is carried out by a metal grid. The second step is sedimentation, in which unwanted particles settle down at the bottom. The third step is aeration, where bacteria decompose dissolved waste from water. The last step is filtering to remove any impurity of left behind. Okay, dear students, I hope you understand. If you have any query, feel free to ask. This is all for today. See you in the next class.